Hello, Hidden Hermit here, having a look at a devil card. Ooh. So this is the devil card from the rather marvellous and quite awesome True Black Tarot. And just take a look at this. This is amazing. So, well, I mean, where to begin? I mean, just look at the image on the card. You get this kind of angelic figure that calls to mind the myth of Lucifer, the fallen angel. However, I've always, I certainly still see this devil as a female figure, which is wholly interesting in itself. But there's a lot going on in here. I mean, yes, she certainly is an angel. She has wings, and it's very golden. There's a lot of allure there. In fact, I would go as far to say that this is quite a sexy devil. Not that I find devils sexy, I'll have you mind, but there's a lot going on. Despite the well, all the images in the True Black are quite sparse, but they're very, very powerful because of the way they've been constructed, I would suggest. But let's take a look at some of the features on this. So, first of all, from the top, you have this crown that's shattered, and for me, that kind of symbolizes the idea that power corrupts. Power corrupts absolutely, and people in power, and I may be projecting a little bit at this point, but people in power can very much, well, they might not necessarily be good for you in a certain sense. Power isn't very good for you. You've got all these rather fancy things sort of emanating, these gold chains and the gold feathers that are coming from the wings as well, which kind of suggests to me that this idea that even if you are in a position of power, as it were, then things can fall apart. Entropy is always a thing, isn't it? Things are always decaying and falling apart. So no matter how high you think you've climbed, there's always a long way to go if you fall. And you've also got these gold coins that are falling from the visage of the devil. And a lot of these coins, I don't know if you can see this, but they seem to be disintegrating, which kind of suggests to me that, things like material goods, money in particular, is quite ephemeral. You're born with nothing and you die with nothing. And yeah, these things don't last. It's not quite the same as having a loving relationship or having a purpose in life, for example. And that does very much go well with many traditional depictions of the devil. I say depictions, but interpretations of the devil. The devil, when it comes up in a reading, it tells us about things that we have been chained to. These chains here, things that are quite unhealthy, things that we need to either confront or exercise from ourselves. The devil card when it comes up, or also for me, well, not me personally, well, maybe me personally, I don't know, but things like alcohol and drug abuse, doing things that are very much bad for you, but you still do them, and that's the allure of the devil. And indeed, that there is something alluring. There's a sense of temptation with the devil. You shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway. Now, in the True Black Tarot, I do find it quite interesting that the devil card does seem to be a halfway point between the Temperance card, another angelic figure, and Judgment, which I only wanted to show you this image because it's an awesome image, but you get that idea of an avenging angel in that. But lots of angelic figures. And with regards to Temperance as well, I mean, Temperance from an etymological point of view is very similar to temptation. And there is a tempting, well, I do find this devil quite tempting, to be perfectly fair. The other feature of this card that I also find very, very fascinating is the fact that she's kind of shushing you. Now, in the book, it tells you about the Islamic demon of Shaitan, the whisperer of bad deeds. So you get that idea of that devil on your shoulder who's whispering all the naughty things to you, that temptation, that nasty, the nasty side of you coming through, if you like. and yet you've got to try and keep it stum, keep it quiet, as it were. It's a very, very cool devil card. It really is. And the other feature, all the major arcana in the True Black have this kind of hidden artwork going on here, and this one is very, very interesting. As you can see these sort of diamond shaped things here, and if it goes back into focus, you can also see, as well as the diamond things, you've got these dots as well. And it's a very symbolic thing. This is calling to mind Milgram's experiment. And I'm sure you've heard of this. Milgram was a professor of, what I suppose, sociology, stroke anthropology, stroke psychology. We have different names for these things these days. But he was interested in the idea of the concept of human evil. And he wanted to understand why so many German nationals became Nazis. He wanted to kind of, I mean, was it something in the water? Was it because of where they were born? You know, how can so many people in a particular place support something that was what is perceived to be evil? And, you know, that's a subjective term, I believe, but that's what he wanted to understand. And what, you know, was it just Germany? Or, you know, that part of Europe, or was there something deeper going on here? So he did this experiment where there are two people in a room. One was an actor, one wasn't, and the actor was subjected to electric shocks when they got a question wrong, and the person administering the electric shocks was the volunteer, if you like, or the person being tested. And what he found out of 40 participants, 26 of them, and the 26 diamond shapes are symbolizing those, would continue to give these electric shocks because they thought it was the right thing to do. I'd advise you to go and look it up. It is a fascinating study. And the conclusion, or again, the kind of abstract conclusion from that is that humans are incredibly susceptible to what we think evil is. And there is no sort of moral absolute, which is fascinating. And again, that sort of addition in the artwork of the True Black just gives this devil card a little more depth. But at the end of the day, it just looks incredible. Well, that's my take on it anyway. So this is the devil card from the fantastic True Black Tarot. I'm going to let you feast your eyes on this marvellous card for a few moments more. But, well, that's your lot. Thanks for watching.